Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we're going to be chatting to Mike McCabe, who's the CEO of Pro Sports, I think is his company, and he's a big agent, and he's
big in the sporting world.
Big in the sporting world. He's going to be chatting to us. He comes in once a year, Mike, and we have a chat to him.
He came in some time back with Graham Hawkins to talk about his Pro Sport have taken over the Eland Gold Cup. It's now a 2-day festival. And he had told us what he had in mind, and this is the update.
The update. Oh, that's great. And you know him extremely well, obviously from your soccer
football days.
Yeah,
we played football together.
Yeah. Talking about football, nothing much going on except the under-19s. I see England won the under-19 World Cup.
Yeah. No, there's not much brewing. Everything's in the transfer markets now with the British football. I see Spurs have sold their right back for a record 54 million or something. It's a record for a right back in the Premier League. He's gone to Man City. I see they've signed, they've extended a contract on some guy they had on loan. But there's not as many movements as I thought there would be at this stage. No, I think your team are hinging on those two not going.
Well, that's the whole point. They bought some
Sanchez and Ozil.
They bought a guy from Liège, or one of those players, Lyon, in France. Who's supposedly a centre forward, which we need. Okay.
Yeah.
But we had our chance. Ibrahimovic was our man. He was our man. We should have got. More importantly, I seem to remember last week we discussed rugby, and I said to you the Lions need to win, and the Crusaders need to get beaten for the Lions to get the home final.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened.
No, you're on the button there. I thought the Sharks would get more of a game. Ended up a 17-point difference after an 8.5 spread. But at Sharks, there's some glimmer of hope there. They're not that bad, but the Lions are a good team.
They've got to go up next week to play the Lions.
It's be a tough task.
How's that going to be? But it's very interesting. I think the Stormers have got a chance. They played very well against the Blue Bulls.
It was a good game.
And I think they've got a chance they've got to play the Chiefs in the quarterfinals at home, which is very good for them. The anomaly of this whole competition is that the Brumbies with 34 points get a home quarterfinal against the Highlanders, I think, is crazy. It's absolute madness. 34 points. You should be getting an away
correct.
Final. But I think they try to make sure that each union...
They're trimming it now.
Each union has its fair share. South Africa, Faf has got them over the barrel, those poor little
What have they got, about 460 for the Palms?
They've got to get 475, I think, to win the game,
Tough call.
Yeah, and I don't know, there was an LBW decision. I don't know how that ball went over the stumps against Cook yesterday, right in the last over, Morkel.
Yeah.
It looked plumb out, but it just shows you
I still think they can't reach that.
Well, funnier things have happened in the world of sport.
Not in Nottingham.
What about the artichokes?
No, the artichokes will be right. They'll level the series. The captain's back, and we'll have Rabada for the next test. It's going to be very interesting.
Going to be very interesting. And is there any other news that we need to talk about? Because I think there's one bit of news we missed out.
I don't watch Grand Prix. I see Hamilton.
Federer.
Oh, yes. We must mention him. Fantastic.
What a man.
Well, 3 sets, eh?
The other guy's probably emotionally scarred. Before he got in there, apparently he played like 15 and a half hours of tennis. But... Federer is he's as good as ever. His serves are unbelievable.
He's up with the greats.
Well, he's won eight Wimbledons. No one else has done that. And I said,
remember he took a break. He used his
took a break to see his sons being born, and no one thought he'd come back. I think he's over 35, isn't he?
He's around there,
Yeah, it just shows you hope for us, us young guys.
Hope for us young guys.
Yeah, I want to just say that... before we go on, I've just been to the NHA and I got a very pleasant surprise. And we're normally throwing brickbats at the NHA. I got my life member's badge as a colour holder, because I've been a colour holder for more than 30 years.
Is that the cut-off point?
They gave me a badge and a certificate, which was very nice. And all due to Julie Wilson. She apparently made a presentation to the CEO, and it got accepted. And well done to Julie Wilson.
One quick question: how much did it cost you to get it?
My whole life.
They're giving you a certificate of badge for your whole life being involved.
1975.
I like the gesture.
Yeah.
But I hate the costs involved.
Well, never mind about that. At least there's some gesture, which I thought was a very good thing. And
must be lauded.
Nice to get a badge from the NHA. And those of you who have had colours for more than 30 years, go out there and see if you can get your badge and your certificate.
Demand it. Don't see if you get a demand.
Demanded,
So they've
yeah.
given it to you, Jim's got to give it to
Absolutely.
everybody.
They gave it to everyone.
30 years. Well done, Jim.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done. It's actually 42 years.
You've been a colour holder 42 years.
42 years,
What,
yeah.
for 12 years they wouldn't accept you?
No, but I don't think their records go back that far. That's the problem. I don't think. But anyway,
right.
it's 42 years.
Well
75, we started the whole business off, and my goodness.
Well done,
We
Jim.
know how much it's cost, but at least we're giving a bit of it back now, So let's go to our 3 to follow. Right, let's go and have a look at our 3 to follow, and we're going to Greyville on Wednesday, and Johan Janssen van Vuren had a very, very good day, but we picked up one of his horses to follow, and its name's Forgimme. I think it's a very good name. It's owned by the Knapper team, and it was ridden by Gav Larena. The favourite in the race was his other horse, and this nearly beat the favourite. I thought it was a cracking good run. Let's go and have a look.
Yeah, here it is. You can see it out there. It walks out of the gate, and then it runs 3 wide, and then it has to weave its way through. This is certainly one to follow. Gets a bit of a nudge from one of the other horses, and is lost.
Yeah, it's in the red and white colours. It's got the white sleeves and the white cap. It's on the outside here, and it gets wider and wider. And you'll see when it gets into the straight, it runs all the way back inside. So you would think this filly went quite a bit further. She's got nice action, this filly. She's by Gimme the Green Light, bred by Borland Stud. And I thought it was a cracking good run. And I think this is a filly you can really pencil in to have a go next time.
Yeah, her stablemate runs in the Eoster colours, chasing Edith Rose. Edith Rose runs a very gutsy second. She ran off out in front with that for Dennis Bosch. For Glenn Kotz and Edith Rose. And here you can see the horse we found going from the outside towards the centre now.
Yeah, and then she keeps on going in. There seems to be a bit of room outside of her, but she's just getting her hands right at this stage, and then it gets a bit tight. The horse in the yellow, they all come across onto her, and her stable companion comes out on her, but she runs on well. She puts her head down, she gets punched out to the line, and this filly will improve remarkably from that run. So have a very close look at her next time she runs. Forgive me, in the right type of race, she could end up winning for you. We then go to the Val on Thursday, and La Colossa was backed like they knew the result. It was in a tough race, and big, strong, good action filly, but completely at sea on the hard turf, and middle of winter, it's hard to make up the ground, especially for these fillies that are having their first run. Let's go and have a look.
Yeah, another one that we found that comes out the gate, a tad shoddily, and as you'll see when the gate opens here, just there, gets a bit tight, and she's already a length and a half off them. I think she runs a very good race. This is quite a competitive field. Frederico's Dream beats 12 Oaks. They'll be down the inside, and they'll be going well. And this horse in the main chance Silks runs a very good race.
Well, there's a lot of winners around her. Frederico's Dreams and 12 Oaks winners, and the filly that snagged on the line, Strawberry Palova winner. This filly ran a very, very nice race indeed, and you can see her right in the middle of the pack with the black sleeves and the yellow body, obscured slightly by the Aussie runner that ends up winning it. But she's got her head up, and she's under pressure to go with him here.
Yeah, she runs a very good race. As I say, they supported this filly. She's found a lot of support. The winner, as we say, Frederico's Dream, is running across on towards 12 Oaks, and it looks like 12 Oaks is going to go on and win it. But Gav Larena's got other ideas on Frederico's Dream. And here in third is this main chance. This is a sparkling run, James.
Yeah, she ran in a winner's race. This is good. So she gets run out of it at the death because she's just getting punched out, and she certainly looks like she'd have her day in the sunshine in a not too distant future. We then go on to Sunday at Turfentine, and we picked up one of the stalwart owners of the games, horses, Cashel Palace. This is a very, very nice horse, and Alec Laird trains at Randall Simons rode it. Bred to go a bit further than this. This was a 1,400 metre maiden juvenile plate for fillies. Let's have a close look.
Yes, third one we're showing you. Third one to be slow out. All of these that we found didn't know much about what was going on, but this found some support. And again, it's near the back very early, but gets bustled up by Randall Simons. He doesn't want it that far back, and he gets bustled up. And I thought it was a pretty good race, because Perfidia, who's your winner for Michael Leaf, Gavin Van Zel and Keegan Miller, wins a very good race. This looks like a smart sort. And Diva Faustino, who runs second, is up with the speed. But you'll see the yellow cap 3/4 of the way back.
Yeah, you'd see the problem is that she's there, but she doesn't get any luck in running at all from here in. And only in the last couple of 150 odd meters does she switch in and get a run. But the winners, I think, up in the vanguard, up second, and she's got like 5 lengths, 6 lengths to make up on this, and it gets further away because now she's just dropping out of it. She's got nowhere to go, and she's behind the Sheikh's horse. And still tight, not really going to find much of a gap here. Now that she's got the pink horse in front of her, and she then switches in, as you see from the next angle. She's coming out, but then she switches in, and here she's third last.
Yeah, she's not going to run a place here. That she runs third is a sparkling effort. Gets a clear run when it's moved over by Randall Simons. And you still think it's going to battle to place, but the third horse at this stage is green, and this keeps finding. This is Casual Palace.
Yeah, well worth having a look at. The winner was the right horse in the race, and that certainly was well worth having a close look at. So those 3 shouldn't be too long in winning, and this shouldn't happen. We gave it another week to try and get out of its predicament, but it hasn't helped. So we're going to have to help this one out.
Yeah, help it out. Get something else in there.
Get something else in there. Anyway, it will be on YouTube. So there you go. We're going to go and have a look at the Plum of the Week.
As they turn into the home stretch, Wacken Up, in other words, strategic move towards the outside of that one is Silver Class, and then comes Heaps of Fun. It's still Wacken Up, in other words, the outside. Strategic move is running on, Flying Silver the outside. Still Wacken Up the leader as they go past the 200. In other words, Flying Silver, strategic move, but it's still Wacken Up going on. Wacken Up's holding on, and Wacken Up won it. Second place will go to In Other Words, and then Flying Silver and maybe Silver Class.
Well, the art to backing winners is to find the horses in the right race. Now, here's a filly, the mare, that's a front runner. She's only had 11 starts. She ended up finding Anton Marcus, who has got to be the best front riding jockey in South Africa. When he gets to the front, he's very hard to get past. He dictates extremely well.
He's very good from anywhere, I've found.
Yeah, but from draw 1, Anton Marcus up, first time he's ridden this filly. This looked like a Plum of the Week, and it was a listed race on the big day, Mercury Sprint Day.
Off to Stud Stakes.
Off to Stud Stakes, and owned by the boys in Johannesburg. Sean Terry's in huge form, so, you know.
Good price, James.
5-1 at worst on Interbet. You could have gotten 11-2 on Interbet. I know it started 4-1 with the bookmakers, but that type of price, Anton Marcus, and you can get even money a place. On Interbet had to be the absolute business in this type of race. But no, you know, notice Mercury Sprint Day brought out the best in everything that is racing. Paul Lafferty ended up on the front of the Natal Mercury. They must be short of good features and certainly good-looking people.
Yes.
There must have been no fashion shows around South Africa because they end up with
they end up with me.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to take a break on that pleasant note.
My name is Mark van Devent. I'm a fanatic horse player, absolutely passionate about racing because of the excitement of the puzzle and all the effort that goes into solving it. But it's a great spectacle too. The horses going into the pens before the start of the race, the build-up of tension, and then finding out which horse has it in them to come down in the final stages with just 100 meters left when they're gunning for the line, neck and neck. You never know really what's going to happen in the sport. That's part of the fascination of horse racing. But with Interbet, I know not only do I still get the best odds on their site, and it's also the most informative and user-friendly place for me to bet online. Interbet were the pioneers of online and Mobi betting in South Africa, and they will continue to innovate and lead the way. Interbet, where the professionals bet.
All right, and welcome to Current Affairs, where we can show you our one big feature of the day, the Group 1 Mercury Sprint, which is run at Greyville. And we've got some international news to talk about as well. And I believe, James, we've got a photograph that we want to show people.
Yeah, before that, we're going to stick up this photograph. There's 7 jockeys there, or apprentices, I don't know what they were.
Yeah,
they look like they're lighties.
No, they're all appies.
Yeah, all appies at that stage. We want you to have a close look at those 7 and see if you can figure out who they are. Listen, we're not going to... Are they Natal boys? Where are they from?
We're not going to say a thing, James, and we're going to come back at the end of Current Affairs and tell you who they are. So have a good look at it now and try and work out who they are. The 7. Most people get 2 or 3 right. And if they're lucky, James was quite good. He got high, not 1. So
I've never taken much notice of jockeys. They don't get pinned up on my pin-up board. I get Misty Mountains on my pin-up boards. That's what I put up. Yeah,
I remember that.
Misty Mountains. You know who Misty Mountains is?
It's a porn star.
Not far wrong, Laff. Well done.
Porn star.
Well done. Right.
Okay, so there's got to be the Mercury Sprint now, James. Just before we talk about the race, this horse has come right back to his brilliant best.
Well, he's obviously, at the weights, he was the best weighted horse in the race, apart from his stable companion, who tossed the race at the start, made a complete hash of it. Again. And certainly...
well, James, the sprint of the year is tied up. He's won 2 Group 1s.
He won the 2 Group 1s.
This is a very good horse. And a big plug for Toreador, who always can throw you a big horse, throws you good-looking horses.
Interesting, it's out of a Sommerer's mare bred by Marion Thompson. And, it just shows you how the nick has worked here. There's no doubt about that. And Toreador, that Danehill Cross, power.
Power, yeah.
And he is Toreador's, as we say every week, he's
well worth buying at Toreador.
Well worth
a chance,
Certainly sending a mare to him too. But let's go and pick up the Mercury Sprint at the start and see what a mess Trip to Heaven made of the start, and watch where he finishes. He ran a most unbelievable race, but very interesting.
Stallgate 7, Trip to Heaven. They sent on their way, and Trip to Heaven was once again very slow to go. Trip to Heaven is the trailer, and it's giving them already 10-11 length starts. London Call was very quick to go. There goes Search Party and New Predators with the white blinkers. Riverina's right there. Bull Valley's near the rail. Brutal Force the outside. Then comes Gulf Storm. They're followed by Champagne Haze. Captain's Causeway is about 10-11 lengths off the leader. They're followed by Attenborough. Then comes Kangaroo Jack. And then Talk to the Stars and Trip to Heaven. They 12-13 lengths off the lead. Homeward bound in the Mercury Sprint, and London Calls the leader. On the outside of that, a Search Party, and then comes New Predator, the white blinkers. Riverines on the inside, then Bull Valley. Towards the outside, Brutal Force. Trip to Heaven's hooked right out to the stand side. 7 or 8 to go. Absolute Stampede. Bull Valley. London Calls there. Search Party. New Predator. Brutal Force is running on. Trip to Heaven's got 5 or 6 to go, but it's Bull Valley. And Bull Valley's going on. Running on as New Predator, but Bull Valley won it. Close for second between Search Party and New Predator, but it goes to Bull Valley. Sean Terry, Toreador, Carl Zechner have won the Mercury.
Well, Sean Terry's had the most wonderful season, and Carl, the truth, Zechner, nice to see him riding the horse. I thought it was a sparkling performance. As you say, he's won these 2 Group 1s, and I thought the runner-up ran a great race from the draw.
Absolutely superb run. New Predator, they put the blinkers on to try and get him to show a bit more resolution. I think that he
ran a good race.
He'll be going to stud. He ran a good race in third. London Call ran a cracking race.
Level weights from the front. Yeah.
And then the 5th and 6th horses with Champagne Haze, who
Bad
ran
draw.
onto the line.
Yeah, bad draw. Yeah.
And so did Trip to Heaven. Ended up running.
Ali Blotzi's copybook at the start, eh?
They're terrible. The way he starts, to give these horses start is incredible, and he's just some type of horse. If he jumped, if you look at his record, lost 4 lengths, lost 2 lengths, lost 2 lengths, lost 2 lengths, lost every time he loses some lengths, and
he's always slow to stride as well. He's always got so much to do.
End up winning the races. He's out of an imported mare. Highlands bred him. He was an expensive yearling, but
he's a very good horse.
Very, very good horse indeed. So that was a Mercury Sprint, and we now head for next weekend. The weekend after next is the big weekend. It's
Saturday, Sunday.
Festival of Racing.
Yes.
We've got all types of things lined up. I think there's a golf day on Friday.
There's that big charity dinner on the Thursday. Mark will tell us all about it.
He'll tell us all about it.
It's
That's
very
what
interesting.
it's all about.
But James, there's some news around the globe, and if I can just bring in my little piece of news, because I backed Harry Angel last time. I thought he'd win a Royal Ascot. Clive Cox, who trained so many Group 1 sprinters.
Did you follow up, is what I want to know.
No, I didn't follow up.
That's the worst mistake any professional punter should make, and you, as a professional, should know. Always follow up.
Punter. I'm definitely not a professional punter. I haven't the talent to be a professional punter. But Adam Kirby and him, and because the interesting thing, I read the article, James, Caravaggio had won at Royal Ascot for Aidan O'Brien. It was a fantastic win. Harry's Angel was clear, he beat him. This time he didn't run the first 3, Caravaggio, and the press over in England are saying, we want to see these two meet for a 3rd time to see.
I think they are going to meet. There's a Norfolk or something.
Okay.
There's a race about 3 or 4 weeks' time, which is the big sprint race as well.
So.
It might not be a Group 1, but it's probably a Group 2. This was the July Cup.
Yeah.
And it's always a good race on the July course. Just talking about the July course, and I'm sorry you didn't follow up on Harry's Angel, because that's normally your style. Once you stick with one, you stick with one. They have the Newmarket Town Plate, which is a 3 miles 6 furlong amateur race.
3 miles 6 furlong.
Yeah, around. I think it's got like a 4 furlong or 5 furlong run in at the July course. There was a fabulous story about Lester Piggott and Willie Carson and John Gorton.
They rode in it?
No, riding around the July course, because the July course is a right-hand track, and it's got that big dike between it and the Rowley Mile course, you see.
Okay.
And they turn into the straight, and there's no outside rail, there's the dike, you see. And John Gorton's in front, and Willie Carson's second, and Lester's third. And apparently, as they turn for home, John Gorton's horse just goes straight. Okay.
Away from the dike?
No, away to go over the dike and home. And Lester Piggott shouts at him, "Hey, Sonny, you're going the wrong way." Well, Willie Carson nearly falls off. He's laughing so much. And Lester sneaks up his inside and goes and wins the race. And John Gorton arrived 10 minutes later in the weighing room to much hilarity.
Yeah, much applause.
Anyway.
So it was run this week, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Newmarket Town Play was run this week. It was won by Bill Greeley. And
It's a new race, isn't it?
He's an international show jumper. Yeah, it's a very new race.
How long has it been going, this race?
How many decades would you guess?
Oh, I'll say it can go for 100 years.
Yeah.
10 decades.
Yeah, well, let's take it 34 decades, 348 years it's been run, the Town Plate. It's called the Newmarket Town Plate for amateur riders. So that is an institution.
Did you ever have a crack at it? Or
No,
any of us,
never,
any other
never,
South Africans
no.
have a crack at it?
No, I don't know if any South Africans have had a crack at it, but I do know people who have won it and ridden in it. And it is obviously one of the longest standing races in the world. You know,
Is it flat?
348 years, yeah, 3 miles, 6 furlongs.
What's that, about 6 Ks or something?
Yeah, it's a long way.
It's a long way.
For amateurs, it's a long way. Sheikh Fahid, who won it last year, he fell off about a furlong to run. He said in his tweet that the saddle slipped, and so he fell over the inside rail. But
Go
he was
Sheikh.
no harm done to him. He said a little stitch or two, and that was it.
Just talking about sheikhs. Sheikh Mohammed is bringing back the 2 sets of colours that these races. Remember this race with burgundy and the white, with the white star on the cap? Had many top horses with Oh So Sharp and those things. His daughter and his son are mad about racing. His daughter is bringing back those colours, and his son's going to bring back his old blue and white colours. He's still going to have Godolphin, but she's got, the daughter I think's got 20 horses with John Gosden.
Fantastic.
And those colours are coming back. Do you remember Mace won a couple of big features on them? Indian Skimmer.
Indian Skimmer was the one,
when Mace rode from that year. Those colours are back.
I think the highlight of Mace's life was when Indian Skimmer ran in the Breeders' Cup. And I think he got helicoptered over there, didn't he? He arrived at what's it called?
Santa Anita.
One of those big airports in America, and got helicoptered to the race course. Just talking about those John Gosden, he won the Oaks with Enable, Irish Oaks.
Yeah.
And
that's a good filly, James.
Yeah, she by Nathaniel.
6-1 for the Arc now.
Well, she's now a dual Oaks winner. And she's obviously very good. She
Because Frankie came back 3 days. You've been riding for 3 days, Frankie. Said, I've come back a week early because of this horse. And he did the famous dismount for the Irish fans. So
but he does in Group 1s. He always does that dismount. When he's done it here for us because he does it. Just because he's not going... Well, he did ride a Group 1 winner here. Fantastic. Talking about fillies, Songbird is a champion.
Champion.
9th Group 1. She won the Delaware Handicap. She was under a bit of pressure as well. She made her own fractions, only a 5-horse field. But the interesting thing was that the second horse was by a South African stallion.
That is?
Kitalpa. Do you remember Kitalpa standing here?
Yes, of course I do.
He's a brother to a very good horse.
Yeah,
maybe,
to one top stallion, one of the real top
stallions. Or something.
It's something I do know, yeah.
And he got exported back to America, and he produced a second filly called Martini Glass in a Group 1.
Oh, that's good.
You know, he might have been a big loss to us, Kitalpa.
Now, I wanted to ask you, you've looked at the ratings of the highest rated horses worldwide. I think it's the Longines rating.
Yeah, Longines world
Arrogate's ahead of Winks. Where would a horse like Songbird fit in?
Songbird's at about 124, I think.
She's got a bit to find.
She's like 10 pounds off Arrogate.
So he's 134 Arrogate.
134.
So and Winks 132.
132.
Any South African horses in the hunt?
Caravaggio's the best sprinter. He's at 122 now. I don't think that a horse like...
what did our big sprinters have?
Yeah.
What's the best we had there?
We're not in the picture. We don't race internationally. You know, we battle to find international horses racing. Our best filly is the filly that the Met winner in England at the moment, and she's done quite well.
Now, both Met winners are in England now.
Smart call. So and Whiskey Baron, there was
Whiskey Baron, they're both in England.
There in his standing on his paper bedding at Abingdon Place. Good for him. Let's hope he goes and good does it.
James, my ex-appy, Carice Teaton.
Yeah, he's done very well since he left you.
Oh, he's improved since he left me. He thought, jeez, I've got rid of these shackles. His first 10 rides, he had 8 winners for me, including his first winner.
Oh, well, riding those good horses of yours, he just pointed them. That was what happened.
Yeah, and his Mauritian accent, too much dog.
Yeah.
But he's done well, James, and he had quite, how many winners did he have last
40
year?
winners in Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's very good.
And he's got a full season contract next year, which is fantastic for him to get a full season contract. Hong Kong's nearly over for the season, and he's going back to Mauritius for a couple of weeks. Hopefully he stays out of the way of some of those other South Africans that are landlocked there. You know,
the catamaran crew.
Couple of the catamaran crew, they're tucked in there nicely. And, behaves himself, Carice, but he's a good boy.
He's
and
a nice
a
lad.
good ambassador
Nice
to
lad, yeah.
South African racing. And I'm glad
Very
he's
good.
got a full contract. A big loss to us not to be able to get him back. Anything else?
That's all. I've got Mike McCobb now.
Racing Masters, 2 weeks' time.
Oh,
if you haven't entered for the Racing Masters, Phil Georgia, it's your last chance. And
the photo. Let's go back.
We're going to pick up the
Let's
photo.
go back to photo. We promised to
Phil
come
Georgia's
back.
here.
Okay, now we're going to go through them for those of you who are listening. When I was first shown it, Robert Bloomberg showed it to me. This is how I went. I went Ron Phillips with the long hair. I went for Kenny Michelle next to him. And I went for Pete Botha in the middle underneath. I was soon told I got Pete Botha wrong. Just to get it right, Ron Phillips is the long-haired guy, Kenny Michelle, then the two brothers, the McCaskills. Those are
Freddie and Dickie McCaskill.
They're on the top together.
Yeah.
Gary Verne is underneath Ron Phillips. That's Vince Curtis, the good-looking Vince Curtis.
That can't be Gary Verne.
That's Gary Verne, Vince Curtis. And the last one
Diego
is...
de Gaver's brother.
No, the last one is Page.
Stephen Page.
Yes, there we go. So that's your 7 jockeys.
Good gracious.
It's a great photo. If you've got any more photos like this, I thank Robert Bloomberg for sending it through to us. Yeah. We need more photos like that because it stumps Jimbo. Most things stump him, but he was gone from the jump. And he's supposed to know racing. 42 years he's had colours. He's never had a look at his airpiece.
I never looked at the jockeys. And anyone below my chin line, never looked at them.
But Jim, every jockey looks up to you. Eh?
Well, that's a good thing.
It's a very good thing, yeah. Okie dokie.
Anyway, that's the story. We're going to have Mike McCobb. Let's go there. Well, there you go. We're going to be chatting to Mike McCobb. Laf will chat to him about Eland Gold Cup Racing Festival weekend. That should be fun.
Hi, welcome to Your Call. As we said, we've got Mike McCobb with us, and we're going to talk about how things are progressing for our 2-day racing festival. It's Mike is the CEO of Pro Sport International, and he'll be working with the Eland Group, and he's basically running the whole show to get ourselves sorted out. So him and Gold Circle have come together. How are things going?
They are going fantastically well, in my opinion. You know, we only finalised this deal at the end of May.
That's right, yeah.
And so it's been pretty hectic. As you can imagine, when I sit down with our team and I start talking about layouts of programs and that, they all just look at me and smile. Because the truth of the matter is we know what we have to achieve.
Yes.
And there are certain priorities which we've put in place. And I can thankfully say and confidently say that we're on schedule.
That's
and that everything's going according to plan. We're absolutely thrilled that Eland have committed themselves for a further number of years to the Gold Cup.
Lovely.
And they've partnered us in this whole venture. And also very proud to announce that World Sports Betting, as you know, are now the official sponsor of the Champions Cup. And as a Group 1 race, that will headline the Saturday's race meeting. and the Gold Cup will headline the Sunday's race meeting. So we're looking forward to 2 days of, honestly, of exciting racing and lots of entertainment.
So Michael, the Gold Cup and the old days was the Rothmans-Gillard, and
Yes.
we've had Cannon Gold Cup, we've had all different Gold Cups. There used to be 2 major days. The Gold Cup lost a little bit of gloss, and I'm pleased that you've come back to restoke this fire. And people who are racing fans from around the country can look at 2 days of racing now. It's fantastic. We get down there for the weekend and we can watch the best racing. And let's start with, what would it cost a person to get in? Are the costs going to change because you've got 2 days of racing?
So what we've done is you buy one ticket for 2 days, and the cost of that is 80 Rand.
That's cheap.
So 80 Rand gets you access to the races on a Saturday and a Sunday. And then
sorry to interrupt you, Mark.
Yes.
If you only come in Sunday,
80 Rand.
80 Rand's ticket.
What we want to do is encourage the public to come and enjoy a festival of racing, because the 2 days are going to be totally different. Different themes, different atmosphere, a little bit more of a party atmosphere on the Saturday, a bit more of a serious atmosphere on the Sunday, which, as you know, culminates the racing season in South Africa.
Yes.
And that's what's really made it so exciting, is that this festival of racing should be celebrated in a way that we are celebrating what's happened in 12 months of racing, horse racing in our country.
Celebrate our trainers, our jockeys,
Correct.
our owners,
And our horses.
and our horses, obviously. So Michael, it all sounds very, very good, and I'm pleased that you're on schedule, because it's a monumentous task when you're trying to get things going here. Let's talk about the Saturday. What have you got planned for the Saturday, the first day?
Okay, so on the Saturday, we've decided on, let's say, Tent City side of the race course.
Yes.
The famous Tent City side of the race course. We're going to have a festival. So there will be one big VIP tent, but that will be a private VIP tent.
Sure.
And the rest will be a festival. So we're bringing in top food.
Oh, you're going to have
a
like
food.
they do. People love that. They
Top
love
food.
tasting different countries, cultures.
From different types of food. We're bringing in a number of different drinks. So we intend having, for example, a craft gin, a beer garden, a cider garden. So we're looking at putting on
tell
a
Kevin
proper...
Shea about the beer garden.
Now keep him away. At least until Sunday. Yeah. So it's really a food, a gourmet food and drink festival, which is then obviously punctuated by great racing and fantastic music acts. So we've got 5 different live music acts that will play from 11 o'clock when the gates open until approximately 8 o'clock in the evening.
That is fantastic. That's on Saturday.
That's Saturday.
And is there going to be
and
a fashion
there will be, and
angle?
just to let you know that on Saturday, to enter the concert side and to have access to the 2 days racing will cost 190 Rand.
Okay, so someone wants to come down to the food courts and come down to the beer drinking and that.
Early bird ticket 190. If you decide, as a lot of Durbanites do, to pay at the last moment, it's 230 Rand. But that gives you access to the concert, the festival, and 2 days of racing.
Okay, right. I'm just getting myself my head around this market. It sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So this is happening on Tent Town, as you said, and it's
On the Saturday.
on the Saturday.
Yes.
So you've now paid your 190 or whatever. You can come racing for both days, and you can get involved listening to the
Correct.
bands. They're going to have a bandstand with music.
We're having a proper stage, 5 really good acts of live music, including our own Carl Deitch, who opened for Justin Bieber.
Is Carl Deitch singing?
Carl Deitch is on. We've got Majosi from The Voice. We have a great band, and you'll like the name, called The Kiffness.
Oh, that's cute.
It's Kiff. The Kiffness, very much in the genre of Goldfish.
Okay.
And then we have the Gus Brown Band, who do a lot of good covers, Durban Band. And another band that I think is going to surprise a lot of people, play a bit of indie pop, called Cat Like Thieves. So we've got 5 really interesting.
That sounds very good.
And it's refreshing because, we're trying to use different acts.
So just you're going to spread it out over the day.
Correct.
And stop for racing.
Obviously, we're very mindful of the fact that we've got to stop at certain times
close.
when horses come down on the parade.
Yes.
Obviously, when the races run, for the big races where the presentation is going to take place in front of the grandstand, there won't be any music, but that will be properly coordinated between ourselves and the racing,
That's
the racing people.
Now, a lot of people don't know, Kyle Deutsch, as I can just tell you, Mike and I played with a great footballer called Bobby Deutschman. Kyle is his son. He's abbreviated the name, like my nickname.
Yeah.
And Kyle Deutsch is a sensational singer.
He's done incredibly well in this country. A couple of his singles have gone into the top 10 of the charts.
Fantastic.
He's a chiropractor by the day, believe it or not.
That's right.
Qualified chiropractor. Played football, beach football for the SA national team.
So talented, eh?
Talented but hardworking. But music.
Does his brother Luke sing?
I doubt it, but
like Bobby, probably.
But, yeah, Bob. No, yeah, I think Bob and Luke would be in the same band together. But no, so we're so excited, Paul,
Fantastic.
because we've been able to get these acts at the last minute. We had to work really, really hard because most of the acts are booked up way in advance,
Yes.
and I managed to convince a couple of them to change a few of their bookings to join us based on the fact that we hope that this will go on for the next 5 to 10 years.
That's right. It could be an in. Could be an in. So that's Saturday now. At this side of the course, we've got all the racing people. It'll be great to get people from all around the country.
Correct.
All the venues will be booked, and you'll have the bands going off on the other side of the course. So just to get this right, if you've booked for your 80 Rand for 2 days racing, you're basically on this side of the course.
Correct.
Now you want to go there, you pay the extra.
You pay the extra on the day if you have to.
Yes.
Or you can buy your tickets prior to the event from CompuTicket, and that will cost you, as I said, 190 early bird,
Yes.
and 230 if you want
To pop in.
a little bit later.
Lovely, fashionably late. Okay, Saturday is now out of the way. We've got the course cleaned up and we're ready for
Sunday.
what will be Elan Gold Cup Day.
Okay, that's an exciting day because what we're doing is we're then taking the food and festival market and we're bringing it this side of the racecourse.
Fantastic.
We are obviously making it a lot smaller,
Yes.
a lot more unique, and the theme
Cozier.
will be local as lekker. So it'll be local cuisine, mainly local drink, and local music. So we're bringing acoustic style music to this side of the racetrack in a festival type atmosphere. We're also going to have a proper kids zone.
Yes.
And when I say a proper kids zone, there's going to be great entertainment for the kids during the course of the day. So we're bringing somebody in to do that. So it's not just going to be a kids zone where you leave your kids.
Yes,
and
they're catered for.
It's going to be a proper kids zone with lots of entertainment. And the whole focus of the day will be obviously on the Elan Gold Cup.
Yes.
And leading up to the Elan Gold Cup and the other 9 races, some fantastic racing.
Great racing.
And the great thing is that it'll all culminate in a competition which we're holding, where 16, in inverted commas, virtual owners will each have a horse in the Gold Cup. So there's a whole series of platforms that you can get into this competition via social media platforms, etc. People must just keep looking out on the various social media platforms like Facebook.
Yes.
And it's the Gold Cup Festival of Racing, Instagram, Twitter, all those platforms. And the competition will be explained to you on those social media platforms. 16 virtual owners. Fantastic. Who will each draw a horse in the Gold Cup, and the winning virtual owner. So the horse that finishes first for the virtual owner will win a 1 million Rand plot of land at Blythedale Coastal Resort.
Phew, this is a serious prize.
Yeah.
Oh, that really is good. Now, I'm going to take you a step or two back.
Yeah.
You've got events prior to Saturday, and I think it starts with the gala dinner on Thursday.
Thursday night.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so the gala dinner is Thursday night. It's actually hosted by somebody that we had to really go to the ends of the earth to get him on board. A guy called Paul Lafferty.
Oh, he's in.
Yeah, so he's gonna host it. It was a struggle.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And the great thing is we've got a panel of illustrious sportsmen. Nick Mallett.
Fantastic.
Delron Buckley, who played for Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool.
I know Delron.
I'm sorry that I had to say Liverpool in this austere.
You'll never win again. What's it called? Their song
something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, you know the old story about Rooney left Everton, won numerous trophies, re-signed for Everton. Liverpool still haven't won the league.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a sad story.
Yeah, it's a sad story.
It's something that might change. So Delron Buckley will give us some insight of his time with Borussia Dortmund.
He's very interesting guy.
And Jurgen Klopp. He's just written a book, as you know.
Yeah.
And then we've got the winner of the Comrades, Bong Musa Temba. Unbeknown to a lot of people,
Yeah.
He's got
talent.
a great talent, but a great story to tell.
Oh, fantastic.
Wonderful story to tell. So he's around. Oren McElroy will provide the
He's
the comedy,
fantastic.
and he's amazing.
Absolutely brilliant.
We're going to have a fashion show. We're going to have DJ music right through. We're going to have World Sports Betting have kindly sponsored 1,000 rands worth of betting vouchers per table.
That's fantastic.
And we've got 60 tables.
Wow.
So
what was that, 600 people?
600 odd people, yeah.
Gee, that is fantastic.
And so we hope that the
and
evening
where is this happening?
at the Silver Ring Room here
Which
in
is
Greyville.
the upstairs,
Upstairs
the
at
big
Greyville.
venue.
I think gates
Convention,
open at the doors
centre.
open at 6:30 for 7. Really, what it is, it's the launch of what we hope is going to be an incredibly exciting festival of racing.
And Michael,
Yeah.
the next day?
That leads into our Celebrity Golf Day, where we have 144 golf positions open to play. So I think if my math gives me the correct amount, that is I think it's 16 four balls, something like that. So we've got 16 four balls on the Friday. Nick Mallet again is our celebrity guest, so we're going to have a lot of fun with him on the golf course, but a few others as well. Delron Buckley will be there.
Which golf course?
Royal Durban.
Perfect.
Tee-off times, I guess, will be noted, but it'll be pretty early, the tee-off times, because
if you invite Kevin Shea to go on a dinner, he can go straight over to the golf.
Yeah, but then
You won't have to worry about.
But as long as he doesn't hold up the proceedings,
That's
you know,
right.
Yeah. So that's the golf day.
That's fantastic.
And proceeds from that will go to the horse care unit.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's our charity of preference. We want to try and keep it as close to home as possible. And then obviously that then builds up the excitement to the first day of racing, the 9 races and the Champions Cup, the World Sports Betting Champions Cup, the 10 races and the Elan Gold Cup.
Gee, Michael, have we left anything out? I'm excited just listening to
No,
you.
not really. I'm just chomping at the bit. I must be honest with you. It's been pretty tiring.
Yes.
And demanding on all of us, but we're all so enthusiastic about this racing festival, and the only thing that I can promise you is that whatever you see in year 1
Will be bettered.
will be bettered in the years to come. And I said this to somebody: if I don't have, or if we don't have, an international headline act, music act, for our concert in 3 years' time, I haven't achieved what we want to achieve with this festival. Fantastic. And besides that, if we also haven't introduced this industry and this beautiful game of horse racing to many new people, because that's the whole idea.
Yes.
Concert Day is to encourage those people, and that's why we don't have Tent City, which has its place, by the way, because the July is a magnificent day and it's a great success. But we want to encourage those people that are on the festival side to come across to racing and watch the horses in the parade ring, get a feel of what horse racing is about, and hopefully get a brand new group of people that will buy horses,
take an interest,
and follow the sport.
Well, Mike, it's really, really good news, and I just hope it all maps out perfectly, because, as you say, bigger and better is the way to go.
I must thank Gold Circle. I've already thanked World Sports Betting and Elan, our anchor sponsors, and everybody else that's involved. But I have to thank Gold Circle and the racing industry for giving us this opportunity. And the truth is, it's helping us to realize our dream, because we're so passionate about horse racing.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks very, very much. There we go. Mark McCabe, Pro Sport International. You've got to try and get down for the Festival of Racing here at Greyville.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.